My boss was sharing his screen in a meeting when suddenly a message popped up. Hubby, this meeting is so boring. I'm hungry. Whimper, 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 whimper. The boss picked up his phone and replied, "Okay, I'll wrap up soon." While everyone was guessing who the boss's wife was, my hand holding my phone under the desk was trembling like a sieve. Then my phone rang.
Welcome to listen to my full sweet love series novel. I'm the blogger and I'm Twilight's novel. Now let's start the main story.
Office romances were strictly forbidden in our company. Noah told me that on my first day. Later, he was transferred from the headquarters to our company as the executive president. Everything had been hidden well until today, when he had a meeting scheduled in our project department. They say the new president is really handsome, rich and successful. I wonder if he's married? Lucy gossiped loudly in the pantry, clearly audible to the entire office. Give it up, he's married. The project department manager appeared unexpectedly from behind, startling Lucy. Married? I wonder what kind of woman could possibly deserve him. Lucy started fantasizing again. I shrank in my seat, looking in the mirror, secretly pleased inside. Envy me. Be jealous. Such a perfect man belongs to me. I've heard many executives' wives are quite plain, and they have plenty of mistresses and side flings. Zoe chimed in, hinting at something. You go be the mistress. I only hook unmarried men. Lucy tossed her big wavy hair, looking incredibly sexy. I secretly texted Noah. You're not even here yet, and people in our department are already having improper thoughts about you. TSK. Soon, I received Noah's reply. What about you? Do you? Yes. I hid under the desk and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Humph. I looked up at Lucy next to me, finding it strange that her eyes seemed to be twitching like something had stung them. Lucy, is your eye bothering you? Lucy wore an utterly hopeless expression, and only then did I realize the project manager was standing right beside me, and next to her stood the new executive president. Jessica Howe. Playing with your phone during work hours. Deduct 200. My head drooped, but suddenly I remembered Noah was right there. Surely he would say something for me? However, he just glanced at me and walked away. Walked away? Because it was an operations meeting for a new product launch, the meeting dragged on incredibly long. The discussions up front were fierce, while I sat in the back row, drowsy and on the verge of falling asleep. By around 1:30, I couldn't take it anymore. My stomach was growling fiercely, and looking at the radiant figure at the front of the table, I couldn't resist sending another text. Hubby, this meeting is so boring. I'm hungry. Whimper, 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 whimper. Generally, whenever I whimpered like this, he couldn't resist me. But I never ever expected that Noah's phone would ring. And along with it, a message popped up on the projection screen visible to everyone. Everyone saw Noah's note for me. His Majesty's beloved. I had sneakily changed it last night, and he hadn't changed it back. Suddenly, sweet wife seemed like a pretty good nickname too. Everyone looked at each other in confusion. Lucy covered her mouth laughing, and whispered to me. The CEO's wife's avatar is exactly the same as yours? I forced a smile. Just a coincidence? Everyone seemed to be waiting for the CEO's embarrassing moment, but Noah calmly picked up his phone and sent me a message. Okay, I'll wrap up soon. Oh my God. Why didn't he exit the screen share? Everyone saw the message. Ding ding. Just as Noah put down his phone, my phone rang. Game over. I'm about to be discovered. Jessica Howe, is that you again? Don't you know to mute your phone during a meeting? I pretended to be calm and apologized. My mistake, manager, it won't happen again. Things went smoother than expected. Surprisingly, no one suspected me. Hee. Everyone, good work. Let's end today's meeting here. My treat for lunch. I glanced at Noah, meeting his gaze directly. I saw affirmation in his eyes. I knew my mission was perfectly accomplished. Back home, I put down my bag, saw Noah wasn't back yet, and went to my room to start packing. What are you doing? I whirled around. Noah was already standing at the door, dressed in a black suit, his hair slightly damp, probably from a light rain shower. Boss. I quickly pulled out the contract and handed it to Noah. Boss, I've pretty much fulfilled the contract terms. Wishing you happiness in your future life. I didn't have much luggage. Noah hadn't let me bring much when he first hired me. 3 months ago, Noah placed an order on my Taobao store and requested an additional service. We entered into a contract marriage, firstly to deal with parents, and secondly to handle the workplace admirers. I wasn't happy about it at first. Getting married and divorced would make me a divorcee. But what he offered was simply too much. In the first month, he said my acting wasn't convincing enough, and his mother suspected something was off. If it got exposed, I wouldn't get a penny. I didn't think it was my fault. He went about his routine work formulaically, hardly even speaking to me. How could I act convincingly when my counterpart was an iceberg? To keep this high-paying job, I calculated Noah's return time one day. I prepared dinner in advance. My mom said to capture a man's heart, you have to let him know you're capable of anything. The dim, yellowish light fell on the food I'd made, the aroma starting to permeate the cold room. Good. It finally felt a bit like home. I quietly waited for him to walk in, anticipating his surprised expression the moment he saw it. But the moment he walked in, he frowned. You cooked? Yeah, braised shrimp, sweet and sour ribs, stir-fried lettuce. Don't you think it's too greasy? I won't get angry. Getting angry only hurts myself. The customer is God. The stir-fried lettuce isn't greasy. Will you eat it? In the service industry, we must keep smiling. He glanced at me, sat down quietly at his place, took only a small taste, then put down his chopsticks. Great. All that effort wasted. No need to make these next time. I'll still pay you as agreed. I was stunned for a moment, quickly saying okay repeatedly, then watched him walk straight into his study, open his laptop, and start working. Workaholic. Couldn't let the food go to waste. I was proud of my cooking and planned to tuck in heartily. The doorbell rang. It was Noah's mom. I plastered on a standard smile and hurried to the study to call Noah. Hubby, Mom is here. Oh dear, you made dinner. Perfect, I haven't eaten. Jessica, let's eat together. Honestly, Noah's mom was much more amiable than I imagined. Noah also came out of the study. He sat down beside me. Hubby, have some ribs. Didn't you say you loved the ribs I make? I smiled brightly, picking out the fattiest pieces for him. I clearly saw his expression darken. Yes, eat more. I really didn't expect you two to get along so well. You know, he usually doesn't eat dinner at all. Clearly, our Noah really likes you. Aha, I know he loves me too. Hubby, hurry up and eat. I shot him a look. Eat, or if it gets exposed, it's not my fault. Sure enough, Noah started eating the ribs with a complex expression. I gave him a large shrimp. He shot me a sidelong glance, probably telling me his patience was limited. But, so what? Once the urge to prank surfaced, nothing could stop it. Oh ha! I gave him another chopstick full. Remembering how he was forced to eat that day still makes me laugh. Not cooking tonight? He suddenly asked. Nope, I ate out already. I blinked, trying to squeeze out a tear, but my acting skills weren't up to par. Sigh. What a bummer. All right, the payment will be transferred to your account on time. After saying this, he entered the study as usual. This time though he closed the door. Damn, so heartless. After all those meals I made for him. The next day, I took a sick day off. Unexpectedly, when I returned the day after, the company atmosphere had changed. Lucy sidled up to me secretly and said, "The CEO's wife came to the company today." Ha, ha. I haven't even gotten the divorce certificate yet? Out with the old, in with the new? You're surprised too, right? Lucy continued gossiping. I've seen so many women, but I've never seen one who outshines me by that much. Truly, I still need to keep improving. A woman who could make Lucy admit defeat was rare. She used to be a print model, with looks and figure that were top-notch. Jessica, you're not yourself today. Usually, you're the first to jump on gossip. Lucy looked at me suspiciously. Probably still recovering from being sick. Haven't adjusted my state yet. You gather intel first, and we'll share later, I deflected, turning my head, my gaze falling on the CEO's office inside. Jessica Howe, the CEO wants to see you. Zoe looked at me with a complicated expression. I suddenly snapped back to reality, quickly found a resignation report template online, printed it out, and took it with me. As I walked into the CEO's office, I saw a vividly dressed woman walk out. But this vibrancy was different from Lucy's sexiness. It carried a bit of an intellectual, pretentious air. Later, Lucy said this was called alluring without being vulgar. Was this the new one? Before I could think further, Noah told me to close the door. I kept my head down and quickly handed over the resignation letter, afraid he'd think I was slow and deduct my bonus. Boss, I didn't mean to drag my feet. Tomorrow is the last day of the month. I wanted to get the full attendance bonus for this month. Is that so wrong? Here's the resignation letter. If you'd be kind enough to give me tomorrow off to go with you to get the divorce, that's acceptable too. Noah didn't say anything for a long time. I looked up at him. He examined my resignation letter carefully and said, "This resignation letter template is one I wrote in my freshman year." Boss, did you upload a lot of templates freshman year? I asked, thinking I could just download another one if not. Ma'am. Pretty much all the VIP resignation templates were designed by me. Useless. Absolutely useless. Thousands of document templates, and not a single one usable by me, a VIP. Unsurprisingly, my resignation wasn't successful. I suspected Noah was doing it on purpose, but I had no proof. While I was still pondering whether my resignation report needed polishing in classical Chinese, I noticed a new spot next to Noah's office. On the desk sat a pink nameplate. Executive Assistant, Rachel Cheen. Everyone knew she was the CEO's wife. Since she arrived, the office had become much livelier. She called him Gidge, Big Brother, all day long. Listening to it, you'd think the company had switched to running a chicken farm. Gidge. I printed this document wrong. You won't blame me, will you? Just reprint it. It's been a while since you worked. It's natural to be a bit rusty. Noah's tone was gentle as he reassured his little darling. Although I had an urgent document needing his signature, going in now seemed like I'd be shining extra bright. I walked out of the office and happened to see Zoe looking at my bag. This bag was ordered on Douyin and arrived today. I loved it. Jessica, this bag is so pretty. Not cheap, right? I saw it's 50,000 on the official site. 50,000? I waved my hand dismissively. 500. Huh. Zoe's hand, which had been stroking my bag, immediately retracted. Her voice gradually got louder. Jessica, don't take this the wrong way, but your husband is really unreliable, letting you carry a fake bag. When I joined the company, I had to fill out marital status. I put married. And Zoe happened to be in HR back then. So everyone knew I was married, but no one had ever seen my husband. A fake bag. I wouldn't carry a fake even if I was broke. Isn't a small niche brand better? How embarrassing to wear it out. If your husband has no money, he shouldn't pretend to be a big shot. Jessica, a man like that isn't worth it. The conversation quickly turned into people giving me advice. I rolled my eyes internally and snatched my bag back sharply. I just bought a bag, and they're rattling on. I eyed those people. Wasn't every part of them fake? Not to be rude, but I even fake my smiles at work, let alone buy a bag? Out of nowhere, Rachel walked up beside me and chimed in. If you spent real money, it's real. Shut up. That pair of shoes you're wearing looks like the limited edition from Paris Fashion Week. Oh right, how much is your monthly salary? As soon as Rachel spoke, everyone fell silent and walked away awkwardly. Only Zoe remained unconvinced, letting out a disdainful snort. I was just looking out for you. A man who doesn't spend money on his wife might be spending it on someone else outside. I looked up at her. Zoe, you're teaching me to reap where one has not sown. Lesson learned. Zoe had a 10-year ex-boyfriend who was stingy, saying he was saving to buy a house. They apparently had a huge fight and broke up later. Zoe's face instantly darkened. She snorted coldly and left. Rachel beside me, however, was looking at me with bright, sparkling eyes. Hee hee, sister. I feel like we clicked instantly. Let's have a meal together sometime. Oh my goodness. Rachel's personality is amazing. We chatted about everything from online shopping to our favorite idols. From then on, she and I were sisters under the same roof. Come on, someone's treating today. We went to a Japanese restaurant, incredibly luxurious, every detail screamed money. At the end of this trail of money, I saw Noah. He wore a black knitted sweater, khaki-colored casual pants, and black-rimmed gold-framed glasses that looked oddly mismatched. Youthful exuberance? Noah was naturally steady. Seeing him this casual was a first. True, meeting someone you like forces a reboot. Wow. Noah. You look great today. Rachel naturally linked arms with Noah. For some reason, my heart felt stuffy and uncomfortable, but also strangely relieved. Rachel was genuinely nice. They looked good together. Definitely better than Noah and me standing together. Let's go. Rachel called me, and I quickly agreed. All you can eat for $19.88 per person. How could I not go crazy? I was probably too focused on eating to pay attention to what Noah and Rachel were discussing. They sat very close, often leaning in to whisper to each other. Every time I felt like a third wheel, I went to see what else I could grab, only for the staff to hand me a tablet. I could only bury my head in eating. Eating too much seafood makes it too cold. I looked up, slightly dazed, meeting his gaze, and nodded woodenly. Honestly, if Rachel hadn't been there, I'd have thought his gentleness meant he was possessed. Okay, boss. Probably because it was too delicious. That wasabi was so pungent it made my eyes water. So annoying. Isn't there any wasabi in the world that isn't pungent? Shit. Jessica, calling him boss is so distant. He has a name, Rachel said with a smile. I just smiled and didn't say anything. Ding ding. The moment I glanced at my phone, I caught sight of the gift Noah had given Rachel. A designer bag. The packaging was probably too dazzling. I choked again. Cough, cough, cough. After coughing a few times, someone suddenly patted my back. Once I caught my breath, I felt much better. I was about to thank them. Then I saw a familiar face. Leo Xiang. He put his arm around my shoulder, showing a pair of dimples. Wifey, what are you doing here? Leo Xiang. I yelled at him. Can't you be serious for once? Leo habitually ruffled my hair. All right, I just happened to be here eating with some buddies, saw you choking, had to be the hero and save the beauty, right? Honestly, Leo was my first client. I used to rent out girlfriend services on Taobao. He bought a 1988 package, and I was his girlfriend for 3 days. Business required him to call me wifey, and I got used to it. But in front of Noah, I felt a bit awkward. Would he misunderstand? Probably not. He had Rachel now. Oh, don't be so cold. I brought you a gift. Wait a sec, wait for me. Leo reached for my face again, like revenge, pinching it hard a few times. Ouch, that hurt. Leo, stop the lovey-dovey stuff. Sis, I'm borrowing him for a sec. Bye, sis. See you later, sis. Wifey. See, I can't bear to leave you. Leo spoke to me in an almost coquettish tone. Gag. Gag. Go. Get going. I waved my hand hurriedly. Turning back to Rachel, she looked quite shocked. Jessica, is that your husband? I looked at Noah, he showed no expression, probably didn't care much. So I nodded. He's very handsome. Rachel propped her chin on her hand, looking in Leo's direction, then said, Much better than this block of wood, Noah. I forced a smile, letting out a couple of dry hee-hee laughs. The boss is good too. Do you think I'm good? I kept my head down, not looking at Noah's expression. Why ask me such a question? Whether he's good or not isn't mine to begin with. Probably because I ate too much, the time after that felt incredibly long. Since Leo asked me to wait downstairs, Noah and Rachel drove off first. About 10 minutes later, I saw Noah's car pull back into view. Get in. It sounded less like a request and more like an order. But I have to wait for. He seemed impatient and cut me off directly. Get in. But. Looking at his intense stare, I had reason to believe that if I didn't get in the car now, he wouldn't settle the remaining fees. The air conditioning in the car was on, making it a bit cold. But then I saw Noah loosen his shirt collar a bit. His perfect collarbone was clearly outlined, and his Adam's apple was prominent and very sexy. Suddenly, I didn't feel cold anymore. Boss, you can drop me off at the Hongqi Road traffic lights. It was dark and hard to get a taxi. He was always considerate. But the further we drove, the more I realized something was wrong. This wasn't the way to my place. The surroundings gradually became darker and devoid of lights. If I hadn't triple-checked that the person beside me was Noah, I'd have thought I'd gotten into an unlicensed cab. Boss. Boss. I called him. You didn't call me that 3 days ago. Noah unbuckled his seatbelt. I went to unbuckle mine, but he pressed down on my hand. The car window sunshades automatically rose too. It was already dark. What use were sunshades? Forgive me for instantly imagining every possible explicit scenario. I suddenly felt a bit parched. His eyes fixed on me. The air he exhaled carried the cool scent of mint. Had he eaten a mint candy in advance? This. Why aren't you answering me? Probably noticing my mind wandering, he sounded a bit angry. Because of that man Leo Seong? Is he your boyfriend? Or have you decided to marry him? We haven't gotten our divorce certificate yet. I could sue you for this. Why aren't you speaking? Is that a yes? No matter what, you. I had never seen Noah speak so much at once. He was so noisy. And he was this close to me. And he ate mint candy. Well, it tasted sweet. Okay, he shut up. Jessica, how? You're deliberately changing the subject. I wasn't. I swear, I just wanted to kiss him. I seized the moment, unbuckled my seatbelt, and prepared to get out. I couldn't stay too long. Staying too long would expose me. Who knew he'd use the seatbelt to tie my hands back? I screamed. My whole body lifted into the air. He pinned my waist, landing me on his lap. My entire body pressed against his. In the confined space, heat radiated between us, forming layers of mist. Any casual rub could paint a picture. His lips were red, smudged with my lipstick. His eyes were beautiful too. Maybe the air here was too thin. My head felt a bit dizzy. I cupped his face, mustering all my courage, and kissed him again. I didn't plan on stopping at a taste. TV says some people get drunk eating pork. I could get drunk eating seafood. That shouldn't be a stretch, right? I thought I could last a long time. But soon, I felt like all my air was being sucked away. I struggled to resist. Don't move. Fine. Could someone tell me how, despite wearing a sweater, sensations could be so clear? I didn't dare move anymore. I curled up in Noah's arms like a little quail, closing my eyes. I'm drunk. Drunk from the seafood. Actually, I've liked Noah for a long time. Not childhood sweethearts. Not love that grew over time. It was a heart-pounding collision like a car hitting a tree. The adoration of the weak for the strong. I first knew of him from an interview video where he talked about his entrepreneurial ideals, quoting classics, sharing his life philosophy. An 18-year-old boy shining brightly in front of the whole nation. How incredible. I worked hard and got into the same university as him. The campus was full of legends about him. Later, the concept of renting time became popular, so I opened a Taobao store renting out girlfriend services, and he placed an order. The price was one I couldn't refuse. When I found out he was the one, I lost it. Getting a marriage certificate with Noah? I didn't even dare dream about it. But now, it was time to set him free. Let me be willful just this once. After all, we are legally married. Just one kiss isn't too much, is it? I closed my eyes and heard Noah chuckle softly beside my ear. He carefully placed me in the passenger seat, buckled the seatbelt, and smoothly stepped on the gas. Within 5 minutes, the car stopped. He carried me out of the car horizontally, all the way up to his apartment. As we entered, I stole a glance while he wasn't paying attention. He. Why was he carrying me into his own bedroom? Given how monk-like he usually acted, was one kiss enough to make him pounce eagerly? Was he that easy to catch? He placed me on the bed. Peeking through the corner of my eye, I saw him slowly unbuttoning his knit sweater. One button, another, and another. The belt. He started unbuckling his belt. I pretended to turn over, unconsciously clenching my little hands. Suddenly, his hand pressed down beside my ear. My heart pounded wildly. His hands were so nice. Damn. I'd never realized Noah was so large. He knelt over me, his shadow completely engulfing me. I squeezed my eyes shut tight, reciting inwardly. I can't. Absolutely not. What to do? I'm going to be exposed. I kept forcing myself to hold on. But his breath was already drawing closer. Warm and gentle. His hand felt slightly cool. I felt him touch my skin. No. Can't. Couldn't pretend anymore. I thought I could push him away. Escape this heart-trembling, ticklish sensation. But he pinned me down with one hand. The strength disparity was like an elephant versus an ant. His gaze bore into me. Why not? We are legally married. Boss. You know what our relationship is. I avoided his gaze. It was too intense, making me feel like I was dreaming. A marital relationship. He lowered his head and started kissing my neck. I couldn't understand why this person suddenly became so stubborn. Boss. We have a contract. The contract specifies the obligations of a contractual marriage. I tried to calm myself down. I'm just an employee you hired. I know what happened today is my fault. I was bewitched, lustful. I apologize to you. I kept apologizing. Probably. He just thought I was that kind of loose girl. What decent girl would rent herself out as a girlfriend? When I first started this project, it wasn't like I hadn't encountered perverts. Some even said I was offering special services, just in a different way. But Noah. I didn't want him to see me that way. Noah looked at me with a complex expression. He got off me and sat to the side. Ha! He took a thin cigarette from the nightstand drawer. It took several flicks of the lighter to light it. The smoke swirled, stinging my eyes. So, Leo Seong knows about all this you do? It was my first time seeing Noah smoke. The frown on his face was a knot that couldn't be untied. He knows. He knows everything. He knows everything? Noah got off the bed, took his cardigan, and threw it in the trash. In the end, it's still me who was foolish. Get out. Noah ordered me to leave. I slunk out of Noah's place, unfortunately, into pouring rain. Miserable. Wanting to cry. Why was the heavens mocking me too? Mocking my dirty, filthy thoughts. Making me lose face in front of the person I liked. Within 2 minutes, I was soaked through. Huddled under a convenience store awning, I opened my phone which had been buzzing incessantly with Taobao notifications. Do you still offer girlfriend rental services? I sniffled and replied one by one. Hi dear, due to platform regulations, this service has been discontinued. Feel free to inquire about other services. Then chat with me for $50. Sure thing. Can you scold people? For scolding services, you can purchase the Get Scolded package. The price will be slightly higher, dear. Never mind, just chat. I can't really bear to. Darling, our customer service reps are all professionals, and the prices are very fair. The scolding service did cost twice as much as regular chatting. It's not about the price, forget it, let's chat for a bit. It's raining here, is it raining where you are? Looking out at the torrential rain, I replied, What a coincidence, dear. It's raining here too. Did you get wet? Won't happen. You can tell me anything you want to say. Professional judgment. People who mention rain are generally not in a good mood. Can a girl like 2 men at the same time? Relationship problems. It depends on the specific situation. Generally, it's divided into love growing over time and attraction at first sight. She should be attracted to me at first sight. Ha ha ha. Can attraction at first sight surpass love grown over time? Her boyfriend is a scumbag who makes her please other men for money, even entering into a contract marriage with someone else. Oh my! Shocking! Stay away from scumbags. If she's attracted to you at first sight, that means she's interested. As long as you work harder, help her see the scumbag's true colors, everything will get better. So you're saying, attraction at first sight is also love? Does she love me too? Forgive me, I didn't know how to reply, dear. Probably because I got soaked and had a slight fever. I intended to ask my department manager for a day off to rest at home. But the manager said the CEO specifically issued a notice today forbidding anyone from taking leave. The project launch date was moved up. No one could drop the ball. Jessica, why are you only coming now? The CEO called your name. Hurry to the CEO's office. Noah was dressed strikingly today, wearing a custom-tailored deep blue suit that shimmered faintly under the sunlight. Every inch of him, from face to body, was exquisitely refined. Take it. He pulled a gift box from his drawer and pushed it towards me. It was a beautiful designer bag. Without further explanation, he said, "Forgot to give this to you last time. I don't want to be called stingy and cheap again." I suddenly remembered this gift box, identical to the one I saw during the meal with Rachel. I think I saw one in the bedroom too. Was this bought for me? I don't know what girls like. Rachel said this one was good. Of course, only Rachel would know what made such a designer bag good. What was I? Just the occasional target of his wounded pride. "The gift is too expensive, boss." I still refused. "This is the divorce agreement. I've already signed it. Sorry for delaying this for so many days." "Jessica, how?" He stood up, walked over to me, and grabbed my wrist. "I was just too angry yesterday." "It's fine. I mean, don't do this kind of thing anymore." "Don't do what? Sell myself for money? I rent out time. Not my body. Not my feelings. Just time." I looked at him coldly, but a beast inside me slammed violently against its cage, ready to burst out. So he was just like everyone else. I know I was despicable. But, President Chung, with the world so vast, I'll never see you again. You'll be happy. "Jessica, how? I didn't mean it like that." "Jessica." I couldn't hear what else he said. Decent girls don't do things like that. It's just another form of transaction. Nowadays, plenty of people will do anything for money. Looking like that and being someone's fake girlfriend is practically inviting crime. $500 a day? Why not just rob people? Ha ha ha, money is so easy to make nowadays. Auntie Jessica, your daughter's business must be quite profitable, right? Time to pay back the money you owe me? That little girl sure plays wild. I toned down my appearance, wore black framed glasses, and honestly only rented out time. But they still cursed me. Couldn't even be bothered to dress up before coming out? Even ghosts would be scared to death by you. What kind of face is that to show up barefaced? Cancel the order. So unlucky. I was a failure. I should shrink back into my shell like a turtle. I quickly processed my resignation and went home. Escaping this city seemed my best option. Besides lying in bed, I occasionally chatted with people on Taobao. Chat for $10? It was the same guy from before. Okay. Actually, I've always wanted to ask you a question. Dear, I'll answer anything. Can you tell me why you started this business? Surely not just out of boredom. I had an older sister who died from depression a few years ago. Before she died, she sent me a message. She said, "I have so many thoughts I want to share with others. I want them to know my happiness and sadness. But now, even posting a moment gets me told to delete it. Everyone tells me my feelings don't matter. Only interests matter." Okay, I'm sorry. It's okay, it's been many years. So, can the girlfriend rental service start again? I seem to have lost her. Her cooking was delicious. I'm starting to forget that taste. You can cook too, right? Dear, that service probably can't be reopened. I replied to him. After a while he replied, "Are you happy now?" I'm not very happy. I know I miss her. Strangely, a familiar face surfaced in my mind. Was it him? Impossible. Why do you ask? Of course I'm happy. Let me tell you some happy things. I started telling him about exciting experiences. My trip to Lhasa, the intense altitude sickness that almost killed me. How I pulled investment for a project all by myself and finally got recognition. How my best friend was scammed by a jerk, and we swung knives demanding repayment. How I liked someone, shining like the sun. Getting close revealed my fragility, then got me burned. I told him all the wonderful life experiences I'd imagined. He said, "You're adorable. Life is so beautiful. Just listening to you talk makes me happy. Life is so beautiful." I suddenly snapped awake. It felt like a gust of wind blew through my mind, revealing the clear outline of a dream. Fresh out of university, I was full of vigor, all my life plans vividly mapped out. My business plan even won a National Innovation Award. But that year my sister died, my dad went to jail, and we were buried in debt. I threw all my dreams aside and plunged into the Rent My Time Taobao store. My novel entrepreneurial concept got me featured in news articles, turning me into a minor celebrity. Then came the insults, cyberbullying. I hid myself away and forgot the path I came from. Thank you. I typed the last words, started washing up, and applied light makeup. The reflection in the mirror looked refreshed. Light seemed to sparkle again in my eyes. The moment I walked out of my room door, I bumped into a warm embrace. Jessica, my Jessica. Mom hugged me so tightly, not saying much else, just repeating my name over and over. I knew she feared I'd end up like my sister. Mom, I'm fine. I patted her back, and only after a while did she let go. Fine is good, fine is good. Next time, don't lock yourself in your room like that. The afternoon my sister died by suicide, she had also locked herself in her room and never came out. I turned my phone on, only to find 100 missed calls. 3 from Noah, 7 from Leo, and 90 from Rachel. I quickly dialed Rachel's number. Jessica. You finally answered. Brother hit someone. Huh. Noah hit someone? Really? Leo and I were about to go on a date, and he suddenly showed up and hit Leo. You and who on a date? Leo Xiang. Rachel answered naturally, making me instantly angry. What about Noah? Are you just ditching him like that? Jessica, you can't say that. He's my brother for life. No wonder Noah lashed out. With such a green pasture overhead, he definitely deserved to get hit. Where are they now? The police station. Rachel answered honestly. Who called the police? I did. But I never imagined they'd both end up inside. Jessica, I can only bail one out. So. New lover over old flame. Noah probably never imagined in his lifetime he'd be the one discarded. You want me to bail him out? Ma'am. I'm quite far from downtown. You better find someone else. I was about to hang up when I heard Rachel say urgently, Jessica, you're my sister-in-law. My brother is crazy about you. Can you bear to leave him alone facing a cold detention cell? Leo said people he hits often have internal injuries. The longer it takes, the more dangerous it is. Before I could ask anything, Rachel hung up. Hey. Explain clearly. Hey. Before I could react, she had a new lover, and I went from romantic rival to sister-in-law? Rachel hung up extremely fast. The only thing to do now was get Noah out. Rachel wasn't exaggerating. Leo practiced boxing. What if there really was internal bleeding? Wouldn't I be the one to suffer? I rushed to the police station address Rachel sent, my heart in my throat. My dad had been in jail. I saw him bruised and battered every time. I couldn't imagine Noah, always impeccably dressed, locked in a cell bullied by thugs. Noah needs to go to the hospital. I gasped, telling the police officer. You are Noah's wife, right? Handle the formalities here. I nodded, taking out my ID to process the paperwork. Hurry! He needs to go to the hospital. After a couple of hits like that, no hospital needed. The officer looked puzzled, urging me to finish the formalities quickly. Only later did I understand what he meant. When I saw Noah, his right cheek was swollen, and he had a black eye. Seems Leo only aimed for the face. Does it hurt? Noah didn't answer. Instead he said, Go to the company. Workaholic indeed. Going to the company at a time like this. Don't push yourself. If you want to cry, my shoulder is here for you. Why would I? Come on, don't explain. Explaining is excusing. Excusing is storytelling. I looked like I understood perfectly. A girl like Rachel is definitely popular. Don't lose heart. Look at me. If you want to get over heartbreak, maybe we can try love growing over time. Saves the $9 for the marriage license too. Noah's gaze was terrifyingly deep. Men probably feel homicidal after something like this, right? Or did my clumsy confession hit a nerve? If it was my fault your relationship soured, I can explain. I know Leo, he's not your fiancé, nor your boyfriend. Leo admitted it himself. His tone held no question, only certainty. Yes, he was a former client. I expected him to yell at me, but he just sighed. Rachel is my cousin. Before I could process it, he slammed the gas pedal, accelerating wildly. Noah drove straight to the company. I hadn't expected anyone to be working overtime so late. Come to my office. Noah pulled a first aid kit from a drawer and handed it to me. Help me with the medicine. This. I sat on the sofa, carefully dabbing iodine on Noah's hands. He looked at me strangely, with an intensity one couldn't refuse. He asked, "Is Lhasa really that fun?" I jolted in surprise. Lhasa was my lifelong dream. I'd never told anyone. No, I only told one person. You are. Jessica, how? Your reaction time is a bit slow. Noah looked at me, suddenly pushed me down onto the sofa. The momentary weightlessness made me grab his clothes. Whether intentional or not, his whole body pressed closer. This time, it's your initiative again. He lunged at me like a starving wolf, without a word. However, he hadn't closed the blinds. When I opened my eyes, I saw dozens of pairs of eyes in the office staring at us. This time, it was truly over. I turned to look at Noah. A smile tugged at his swollen face, and I saw triumph in his eyes. So ugly. The next instant, I faintly heard Lucy nearby cursing. I wondered why the whole project team had to work overtime tonight. Turns out it was to make us sit here and eat dog food.
I am Noah. I first met Jessica Howe at the National Innovation and Entrepreneurship Competition Finals. On stage, she was the only one flying solo. The judges asked her, "Do you think one person can complete such a large project? Especially a woman? Or are you so arrogant that you think you don't need partners?" She said, "In your view, does gender affect entrepreneurial outcomes at this level? I don't consider myself arrogant, nor is it necessary for you to label me as such. It is precisely because I have enough confidence that I stand before you today." She spoke eloquently, neither subservient nor arrogant. I saw her again on TV, seizing the pulse of the times, innovating and starting businesses. But the market was far more complex than she imagined. The hostility towards her as a woman seemed to erupt suddenly. I didn't know if she could hold on. For a while after, I often recalled her image. I bought her service package. I didn't expect her to actually get the marriage certificate with me. Her first meal really was too greasy. After being forced to eat a big bowl, my stomach ached all night. After that, my mom came over every day and she cooked for me every day. The cold room seemed to warm because of her. But she always called me boss. Only when my mom was around did she call me Hubby. I specifically transferred to the branch company and used phone screen sharing. But surprisingly, no one suspected her. Seems these people are all project-minded fools, such an obvious avatar. Passing the pantry, I heard people discussing her new bag, saying I was stingy. Am I that kind of person? Rachel specifically picked the most expensive one for her. But then Leo Xiang, that dog, showed up. Then she kissed me. She pretended to be drunk again. No way I'd let her get away with it. Why was she always avoiding me? Because of that dog. So mad. I decided to ignore her. Sigh, it's raining outside. Wonder if she got soaked. I switched to my alt account to chat with her. $10 worth. Luckily, this service was still available. I wanted to give her the gift. But the timing didn't seem right. She got really mad. First time I saw that, I didn't know what to do. I lost her. I only dared to chat with her for $10. So cowardly. I saw that dog again. This guy not only entangled with my wife but also hooked up with my sister. I couldn't help but hit him. Rachel told me the dog was just her client, a former client at that. I felt balanced inside. But trying to flirt with my sister? No way. I couldn't wait to make it public. Secret marriage? Secret my ass. Wife's lips are so sweet, wife's hands are so soft. Everyone knows I have a wife now.